let us say 2 days in a row you had a lot of high fever or loose motions or something like that. 2 days in a row. Now last 2 days you have not been eating so much. You have taken very little meal, very little, because because of fever or loose motion or whatever, you are not able to take so much of a meal. Now when you cannot take so much of a meal, what do? Those 2 days you eat less. So now what you do on the third day after you have got out of that loose motions or fever and all that, you say last 2 days I didn't eat so much, so I will eat double the quantity today. That is not regulation, that is stupidity. Okay? You are not compensating for that. How people do the compensation, I'm sure. I used to take, 2 chapatis, 2 rotis or something like that. And then I used to take a little of rice and blah, blah, blah and all that. So it constitutes 1100 kilocalories. Now what I will do is, today I am not eating chapati, so I am going to eat little rice, I am going to eat millets, I am going to eat green leafy vegetables so that I can make it for 1100 kilocalories. Understand one thing. You think that is how it is. So it doesn't work like that. Okay? It really doesn't work like that. Is chapati the same as millets or any other thing? Nothing. Nothing is like that. We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 6 verse 17. Yoga, which rids one of woe, is accomplished only by him who is regulated in diet and recreation, regulated in performing actions, regulated in sleep and wakefulness. Now, the term regulated means there is everything to be done in moderation. So whether it is diet, people do extreme dieting. They say that I should not be having water, I should not be having food. This is my vrata. Vrata means I have taken a vow that I want to attain something in my life. And they say that, okay, I have to do this kind of a fasting. So Sri Krishna says, if some person is doing too much of this, or if some person is eating a lot, both these kind of people, somebody who is interested in recreation. Recreation means I want to watch a movie, I want to go out every day, going for a party, every weekend, hoping to go somewhere. That kind of a person, I want to travel, I want to go here, I want to go there. There is one person whom I know for last many years now. Now this girl, this woman rather, she is in the 40s today, but every weekend she will go to some place for a trek or a travel or a tour, and she's alone. Alone in the sense, she's not married. And she says that's her passion. So she goes out to all these different places. She finds from wherever she finds them, and then she joins different groups. So that is according to her recreation. People think that by going for trips and these kind of things, as a kind of a hobby or as a kind of a enjoyment is very good. No. What is it giving you? Pleasure. Recreation is nothing but pleasure. I love to go there. I love to enjoy this. Any kind of activity which is done on a continuous basis, except the ones which are meant for the state of realization. Did you get the point? Regularity in life for the sake of reaching realization is very important. But not activities like, travel, tourism, those kind of things. Or different kinds of things which are basically actions which are going to give pleasures. It is not something that is giving you pleasures. That is not to be done like a regularity or something which you have to keep on doing all the time. No. So here Sri Krishna is saying these actions which you perform on a constant basis, which are only for the sake of pleasure or pain, enjoyment purposes. Remember, pleasure and pain are both enjoying. So if it is enjoyment purposes, then you are surely going to another world. There is no question of you being in spiritual or attaining some objective in your life. There is nothing there. You are only a material worldly person. So, even about sleep and wakefulness. Sleep has to be regulated, no doubt about it. Wakefulness also has to be regulated, no doubt about it. Why is it important? The sleep cycle, total sleep cycle that is required by a human being is only between 4 to 6 hours. I want you to think very carefully. The cycle that is required is anywhere between 10 to 6, 10 to 4 in the morning. Or you can have it between 11 to 5, something like that. You got what I'm saying? 6 hours, stretching it to 7 hours is a little fine, no problem about it. But 8 hours is a material worldly way of looking at it. 8 hours of work, they go to 8-hour working schedules. 5 days a week, 8 hours, 40 hours in a week. People talk like this. Well, there is no time calculation which you have to do. So if 8 hours means an average human being sleep. Average human being sleeps for 8 hours. A slightly better person will sleep for 7 hours. Those who are in spiritual may not even sleep. They don't even sleep. They are always, absolutely those who are in the path of spiritual, they don't have sleep at all. You see, sitting like this, now I am speaking to you. Okay? When I am speaking to you, it appears I am doing some action with my hands, with my mouth. I'm talking, I'm looking at something, I'm doing some action. If it is a concentrated action, I am telling you, you understand how concentration happens. Like that, people are literally forcing themselves and looking at that person with. This kind of action is a focused action. They focus the action. I don't know how many of you know, you can be doing only one exercise in the gym. Only one. And by doing that exercise, you can train your entire body. Let us say you are doing push-ups, pull-ups, all those things. Or maybe you are doing something connected with one particular instrument over there, whatever it might be. Maybe you are doing a jog. And you may think that, okay, my legs are getting the exercise. My hands are not getting, because my hands are on, I'm just doing like this with my legs. That's it. I'm moving on a treadmill. Treadmill is there. I'm just moving on the treadmill. So my legs are getting exercised. So I get to walk for so many, say minutes, hours or whatever. And I've done so many kilometers. People have this idea of thinking. No. concentration on a particular part of the body while doing one exercise will shape that part. People have no idea about this. Okay? Now, if you know there are push-ups and all that, so when I am doing the push-up, I'm sure you know what a push-up is. What happens is I am thinking of my arms. I'm not thinking of anything else. But if my mind's concentration is on the calves, my calves are getting developed. If my concentration is on the neck, my neck is getting trained. So people really don't have much idea about this, so I'm just giving a small glimpse of how you can do. So it is not about pectoral muscles or glutes or something like that. No, you can develop any part of your body by concentrating on that part of the body. So in sleep, there is no concentration. The mind is annihilated, is not there, it's gone to sleep. So no thinking process. Because there is no thinking process, you are not focusing on anything. And when you are not focusing on anything, your mind is at rest. When your mind is at rest, body can be moving. Okay? And yet, you are in a deep sleep. It's a state of samadhi. So even while talking, walking, sleeping, lying down, saying something, anything, the person can be in a state of samadhi. Because mind need not work. Mind is always enclosed. It's shut down literally. So this I will teach you all someday. Okay. So this same person who has been in spiritual can train himself in wakefulness or in sleep also. Both these things. How many of you have stayed with me over here? Okay, some of you who have stayed with me will know, that I can just lie down, 15 minutes later I am up and working. And I am back to my original energy levels, because it is not the sleep that is required. It is not sleep. Human beings can be awake also 24/7, or they can be sleeping 24/7. It doesn't matter. So Sri Krishna is saying you got to regulate your sleep. In the 15 minutes you do the 2 hours or 5 hours of sleep. Okay. In the material world, they call it the power sleep. Actually, it is not power. It's, it is recharging your battery in 15 minutes. It's like a fast charger. Nowadays you get fast charging, no? So if you keep that thing on your phone on top of that fast charger, in 1 hour's time it will charge for the 8 hours that you otherwise would have done. So something like that. Alright, so Sri Krishna says people have to regulate these things. So it is about food, sleep, diet, everything, recreation, all these things. You don't have to do anything in excess or you have to do less. You have to just be moderating the whole thing. Moderating means controlling the whole process. It has to be regulated. You just regulate it. Now, regulation doesn't mean discipline. Okay, please you understand these two words are separate. Regulation is one, discipline is another. Because people think, oh, I have to go to sleep at 8 o'clock. No. That is called your discipline, your material worldly discipline. You are like one of those dictators, I have to sleep at this hour. Now, I got to take my medicine exactly at 7 a.m. People have this habit of talking. No, it doesn't work like that. Regulate it. Regulation means very simply this. In rainy season, does the rain say I am going to start on 1st of June? Does it say these words? No, no. Or does the winter come at the exact same moment every year? No. Even the summer doesn't come. So you will find that it is a regulation which is there. It comes in a systematic manner and it does adjustments everywhere. So adjusting your body is very, very important. Think about it like this. Like you might have, now this is a very funny example, but let me give you, I'm taking time for this for you to understand. Let us say 2 days in a row you had a lot of high fever or loose motions or something like that. 2 days in a row. Now last 2 days you have not been eating so much. You have taken very little meal, very little, because because of fever or loose motion or whatever, you are not able to take so much of a meal. Now when you cannot take so much of a meal, what do? Those 2 days you eat less. So now what you do on the 3rd day after you have got out of that loose motions or fever and all that, you say last 2 days I didn't eat so much, so I will eat double the quantity today. That is not regulation, that is stupidity. Okay? You are not compensating for that. How people do the compensation, I'm sure. I used to take, 2 chapatis, 2 rotis or something like that. And then I used to take a little of rice and blah, blah, blah and all that. So it constitutes 1100 kilocalories. Now what I will do is, now today I am not eating chapati, so I am going to eat little rice, I am going to eat millets, I am going to eat green leafy vegetables so that I can make it for 1100 kilocalories. Understand one thing. You think that is how it is. So it doesn't work like that. Okay? It really doesn't work like that. Is chapati the same as millets or any other thing? Nothing. Nothing is like that. If that is the case, then is rosemary the same as basil? Both are different, isn't it? Rosemary is rosemary, basil is basil. So why are you mixing up the two? You think just because, today rosemary is not there, so I'll put some basil in it. You can't do that. If your tadka is, I don't know what you call it in English. Okay, if your tadka is of, say, jeera means, what do you call it? Whatever. You can't say, today I am going to, because I don't have this, I'll put some other. Nothing like that works. So don't be under this impression that today I am eating 2 chapatis less, so because of that I am going to adjust it out with something else. Today people are trying to promote all those, other grains. It's a promotion, it's an industry promotion. They want somebody to eat it because there is a shortage of one thing. So they are pushing it onto your gullet, down your gullet, because one is less, so you please eat the other thing. Like the case of milk is being replaced by some other thing. The milk which comes from cows and all the buffaloes and all that. Okay, you should not drink milk because milk is very harmful. I have never heard of all these things, okay? But in my world, some people will tell me, I have gluten allergy, I have this allergy, I have that allergy. Really? Tomorrow I am going to make you a dog. You won't even be able to say I have gluten allergy because you can't speak, no? Then whatever is given in front of you, you will have to eat. Can you understand what I am talking? Today, just now, because you have a mouth and you have some choices in front of you, I have gluten allergy. Really? Your whole family, forefathers have been eating only gluten. You know? I will give you an example. Now you are a Mongolian or you are from the North Pole. All your life you have been eating only one type of food. All your forefathers have been eating. And suddenly you are developing an allergy for something. How does that sound? Sounds, I think, very obvious to everybody. Maybe you got to have your brain checked, instead of your gluten. I may be talking nonsense from other point of view, but please understand, Ayurveda and all these medicines are there which do this kind of an adjustments in the body. So we are doing that. Anyway, coming back to our thing. So we got to moderate everything. So regulation is not discipline. Did you get the point? Regulation means not replacing something. So yesterday I didn't have 2 meals, so I'm going to have extra meal today. No, don't. Have regular. Your body has a way of adjusting out. Okay? If people have this, I have upvas. Upvas is fasting. So because I fasted in the morning, evening I will eat double quantity. Why? Because morning I didn't eat, no. Evening I should eat double. So that I am adjusting. Then why are you doing fasting, you stupid fellow? Don't do fasting then. Fasting means not to eat. So evening you can't eat double the quantity. Adjust it out. Regulate your diet. Doesn't matter. You eat that much quantity only. Your body will regulate it out. So this is what it is. Alright? We will go to the next verse now. Okay. We are doing chapter 6, Bhagavad Gita, verse 18. When the mind which is thoroughly disciplined gets riveted to God alone, then the person who is free from yearning of all enjoyment is said to be established in yoga. I was just now explaining this whole thing. It is not regulation of all those stupid things around you or the disciplining of the things around you. You have to discipline your mind. Why is your mind wandering? I didn't eat that time, that is why I want to eat just now. I didn't sleep that time, that is why I want to sleep just now. No need. I'm telling you something. It's a very simple process. In 2001 itself, I decided I don't want to eat my evening meal. Okay? Now I am a full-built person. According to science, I should be eating X quantity. I am not eating double the quantity in lunch so that I can compensate for my dinner. Please understand this. I eat the same quantity I have been eating all my life during the lunch time. But evening time I have shut down all my food. In between I had to keep on because I was taking heavy dosage of medicine. So I had no choice. Now the medicines have been cut down to half. So I am back to my old schedules. I am not even interested in eating after 6. After 4 o'clock, that little tea that I have, after that I am not even interested. But I will take that little milk, that's it. So how is it that I am back onto square one? I should have been a totally sick person and I should be half my size now. Doesn't work like that. So thinking that I am going to compensate for the loss somewhere doesn't work. Think about it like this. Suppose you are used to say 7 hours of sleep, suppose, and you are not able to sleep. Okay? You have slept for 5 hours. You can't say that I want to compensate these 2 hours somewhere there. No. If you can sleep for 5 hours, convert it into a disciplined approach of only sleeping for 5 hours. Got it? You are not supposed to compensate for it. Doesn't matter. Sleep for 5 hours. your body will adjust to the 5 hours. This is how you have to understand. So when the mind is thoroughly disciplined, it is not the body that is important over here. It is the mind, it is your mind which tells you, I need more sleep, I need more food, I need this, I have to eat less because I got to reduce weight. Did you understand? Even those people in this world who will say, I got 2 kgs extra, look at my stomach, my stomach is not flat anymore. Your brain is not flat. Okay, it's gone flat, I should say. Why? It is not about the 2 kgs that is important. It is the less knowledge that you have. What are you supposed to do? Regulate your diet. Don't keep on eating less because I cannot do this. I have to reduce my weight. I am challenging you this one thing. You try reducing your food. Your body weight is not going to go down. It is never going to happen. And you think that, I lost 2 hours of sleep, so I am going to go an extra 2 hours. Sorry, your body is an idiot in this. It is not the body that is required to do this regulation and the discipline. It is the mind. Sri Krishna tells us over here, when the mind is thoroughly disciplined, you get riveted onto one thing only. If you are a believer of God, just focus your mind on that. Now apply this verse to doing your gym exercise. Rivet your mind onto your glutes and do the exercise which you think you are doing. Your glutes will change. This is the funny part. Nobody understands this. How you train your mind is very important. I will tell you a story of Swami Rama. There was a person called Swami Rama. He visited the United States. Now he was a yogi from the Himalayas. Swami Rama of the Himalayas, they call him. So what he did was, he went to an institute over there and he said to them, you can monitor my body. Okay, so they stuck up all kinds of monitoring devices in his whole body. And then he said, my this hand and my this hand, 2 hands are there. Body temperature they have taken. I said, I will reduce the temperature of my right hand or my left hand by 2 degrees or 5 degrees. So he was able to reduce only his hand's temperature. It is called concentration of the mind on that object. It's a yogic practice. It is not that the world says that you have to do this. How you train your mind, focusing on that one object, you will be able to master that thing. So here Sri Krishna is saying, when you overcome this mind, just focus on to me only. Just focus, rivet your mind onto God. And then the person is free from yearning of all enjoyments and is said to be established in yoga. So this person who eats a normal meal is not focused on, I am reducing 2 kilos, I want to reduce 5 kilos, I want to do this, I want to do that. Don't focus on that. Eat your normal meal, live a very normal life. Normal means not trying to compensate here, there and all that. Just lead the life which you are supposed to lead. Go about it, and this stupid thought which you have, I have not eaten, I should eat less, I should switch over to non-fat milk, I should do this, I should do that. That kind of thoughts which you have of the material world, switch them off. I have not slept, I have not, I've been sleeping for such a long time. People have this habit of telling that also. Why are you putting your mind in that direction? Switch that thing off. Regulate everything around you. Eat a normal meal, live a normal life. Everything has to be just equally balanced. When you have that, the mind is free because you are not thinking of that. It also goes for money, by the way. It also goes for job. It also goes for all other things. Oh, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. Your mind is lost in the money, you will never get it. It's like that 5 kgs you want to lose, it's never going to happen. Maybe it happens once and then you will gain 10 kgs and then you have to say, I have to lose 10 kgs, lose 10 kgs, lose 10 kgs. Doesn't work. So don't get into that. So always remember, money, 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 or I want a job, job, job. Job will come. Money will also come. The same mind, focus it on God. Give God that entire 100% of your dedication and devotion. So he says, when you do that, you are free from yearning of all enjoyments. These are called enjoyments. Likes and dislikes are enjoyments. Hatred and love is enjoyment. Sleep and no sleep is enjoyment. Food and no food is enjoyment. When you remove all your mind from there and you concentrate only on me, and such a person who has no yearning for any enjoyment is said to be established in yoga. He is one with me, with God. Because his mind is annihilated, doesn't have anything to think of except the divine. Okay? And that is how it works. So we have come to the end of verse 18. We will stop over here.